So without further ado, I want to pass over to my colleague, Jamie Elliott. I say he's the innovation lead and the program manager for the West Midlands Innovation Programme at the Combined Authority. He's going to give you a Innovation Programme 101. Over to you, Jamie.
Great, turn on the mic is always the first start, isn't it? Excellent, thank you very much, Ian. So if we just go on to the first slide, so good to see so many people here today to learn more about the innovation program, and also you're going to see this fantastic team that we've developed. Basically, COVID-19 has really emphasized the need for a strong innovation ecosystem. We've seen companies pivot into new markets. We've seen a massive increase in the adoption of digital technologies. We've seen changing business models in order to actually cope with the pandemic. But we've also seen R&D funding squeeze. So it's actually as I said right at the start of this pandemic, you know, the problems like this, challenges, actually force change and force us to adopt new ways of working, and force us to be innovative. So, but we need to do that in a more coordinated manner going forward. So if we go on to the next slide. So what we've developed over the last year or so, and it's worth pointing out that the innovation program has been going about a year and a half now. So we've kind of refined our the innovation framework which we're working against. We've developed 4 principles: variety and diversity, to emphasize the variety and diversity in the region, and something that we need to celebrate and really leverage. We've got one size does not fit all. So that's that relates to the programs that we're running, the business support networks, all things that show that they need to be adaptable across the region. Some things will be region-wide, other things need to be adapted to different geographic sectors, and also industry sectors. Collaboration and communication being a core element of this. And this is why we have an innovation team. Innovation is a contact sport. We need people to be talking to each other and communicating, and it can't all be done just by email. It relies people meeting each other, whether virtually or in person, and actually discussing and working out things and looking at problems and coming up with solutions. And we need to embrace risk and experimentation. We need to actually try things that we know are risky and that may not work. And that's why we have this pilot program with the innovation program. With that, we're actually trying to trial things. If they work, great. We'll then seek to seek more funding and make them more expansive. But we need to embrace that as a region, I feel. So we're delivering this innovation framework through the 5 pillars. We're creating networks, and that's a massive thing that IAWM has been doing, as Ian was talking about, creating networks such as this to share the information and share in various sectors. We've been developing investment programs such as the, sorry, somebody's just moving stop moving the cursor, throw me. So the programs, these are the pilot programs that we've been funding. We want to be developing talent, and as you'll see, we've done that with the innovation program, but we also want to be supporting innovation talent within the region's businesses, developing the intelligence. This is informing the innovation strategy that we're developing. We've done, a lot of you have been involved in the MIT Yeap work that we've been involved in over the last year, looking at the innovation ecosystem in the region and trying to understand it and how it all works together. And very importantly, the culture of innovation. We need to be shouting about what we're doing in the region. We need to be embracing the fact that we actually are doing lots and lots of innovation and showcasing it to companies and to the rest of the country and to the rest of the world about what the West Midlands has to offer. So if you can go to the next slide for me, please. So as a method to deliver all of that, we've got the West Midlands Innovation Programme. and that the aim being to drive up levels of demand-led business innovation across all areas of the region. And we need to do this by understanding the innovation needs of the region's companies, develop new innovation support interventions, influence the development of a region-wide business support packages that are entwined within innovation, and working with partners like IAWM to promote these the major market opportunities and the region's ecosystem, as I just mentioned. So if you go on to the next slide, the next slide shows really, and just keep tapping, this is how the innovation programs funding is being spent. We have the innovation board, which gives us that strategic oversight of our approach. And then we have myself and a colleague in the innovation team within the CA. We're funding the wider team, being the IAWM executive with Ian and Pam and others. And then we've got that virtual innovation team that you're going to be meeting today. And as you can see, we've got that team in all sorts of different sectors, trying to give that breadth of knowledge across the region and across those sectors. And very importantly, it's not only bringing the information, say from rail or creative, and understanding what the gaps are in the innovation ecosystem, but talking amongst each other to actually come up with cross-sector applications. And then we've been developing programs. We've got the intelligence there with MIT Yeap, as I've mentioned. We've got the MMOs. We've got the local industrial strategy that we're taking forward and developing. We've been increasing the innovation team in talent and developing an innovation training program with the CA. The networks there, the Innovation Support Forum, Policy and Practice, Smart City Alliance, all these networks that have been going for actually some years now and are very, very important. And we want to build on these and actually really make sure that what's discussed in those forums is flowing through into the CA and actually affecting policy as we go forward. The IAWM has been very, very ingrained in developing the culture element, so their innovation tracker, new voices of innovation, and collaborations across the growth hubs. And then we've got the series of projects there. And these are very wide-ranging, and you're going to be hearing about some of these in the breakout rooms. If we go on to the next slide, this is just now talking about our outputs to date. So we've got 11 pilot projects running, one of which has been already completed. We've committed over £2 million worth of funding. We've got a little bit more left. But we've been leveraging 1.5 million, and this is almost before a lot of these programs have really got underway and started. The team has assisted 69 businesses, and this is, if you imagine that the team has been developing over the years, so actually it's quite a good figure so far. We're creating collaborations, we're creating new networks and linkages, and we're creating jobs. Now, what we have in place here is an innovation program that has a route to get funding to out there into the region to fill those gaps within the innovation ecosystem. We have an innovation board that's giving us a strategic overview, and we have an innovation team that's going to be bringing that intelligence in and informing the board and helping those decisions. So we have an innovation infrastructure and innovation framework, which is very powerful and actually quite unique within the UK. If we just go on to my last slide now. So what have we got? So we developed our innovation strategy. We're going to do that with the aim to make the West Midlands the UK's innovation region. We want to drive a bold and ambitious recovery through leveraging our regional strengths. As I said right at the start, that's why innovation is going to help us recover, and it's going to help us actually bounce much further back. Bounce forward. We want to coordinate business support, access to finance, skill support under the umbrella of innovation. So all of these support networks are aligned with each other, are coordinated, and we want to reduce that fragmentation that we all are aware of. We want to champion the green economy. It's what the government's wanting to do, and it's what the region's got so much to offer to that net zero. And we want to embrace digital as an enabler of innovation across the board. So we're going to do that by listening to our innovation champions who are working at the coalface. These guys are talking to businesses such as yourselves out there. We want to bring that information in to help it align our policy. We want to build that leadership from the innovation board, and we want to build the West Midlands Innovation Programme so it has funding available to make more changes as we go forward, all based on the data that comes in from those innovation champions. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the morning where you're going to find out about those innovation champions and what they do. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Very much appreciated. And I think the kind of the message there for everybody is keep on engaging, keep on working with us. You know, we're doing some excellent work across the West Midlands, and we just all want to work collaboratively in a kind of more coordinated approach. So we look forward to continuing to speak to you all. Before we move on to actually introducing the virtual innovation team members themselves, our comms team has created a short video that just kind of showcases the breadth of sector work and innovation within the sectors that's going on, just to kind of represent exactly what we're all about here at the West Midlands Innovation Programme. And also there's a message from Pam. From not from jury service, she's not in from behind bars, but she's got a quick message about her role within the virtual innovation team as she convenes the kind of network of people to come together. And then there's also our network and partnerships manager, Devin Geary, who's a kind of, I would describe her as a bumblebee that kind of hops across each of the sectors, but she also leads digital within her own right as well for the virtual innovation team. So Katie, can you play the video for me, please?
Good morning, everybody. I'm so sorry I can't be with you today at the Innovation Policy and Practice event about meeting the virtual innovation team, because building this virtual innovation team has been so much fun, and I really feel that this has the potential to help the innovation for the Lions of the West Midlands and the West Midlands Innovation Programme drive forward the agenda of demand-led innovation, and it also gives us a way to really build cross-sector innovation across the West Midlands. As the team's grown to quite a substantial number of people and organisations we're working with, obviously we need to find a way to glue this together, to put the team in the virtual innovation team. So I'll pass over to Devin now, who sadly also can't be here today, to explain how she's going to help with that role. Over to you, Devin.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Pam. Again, I'm so sorry I'm not able to be with you all this morning. Quite gutted, actually, because the virtual innovation team is doing brilliant work across all sectors. As Pam mentioned, part of my role is about helping to join up those sectors, and you'll hear some of that work in the first breakout session. It's been just mind-blowing to hear how the sectors are able to collaborate together. Alongside helping Pam glue the virtual innovation team sectors together, I also serve as the digital lead, integrating digital initiatives into each of the sectors. So if you are interested in learning more about the virtual innovation team, or you want to speak with someone on the team but have no clue where to start, please feel free to use me as your first point of contact. I'm here to help, I'm here to assist, and to help really drive this innovation team forward. Thank you again so much for being here this morning, and we'll look forward to speaking with you soon.
Oh, there you go. That's the first two members of the team. You've met me, you've met Jamie, now you've met Pam, for those of you who don't know already, and Devin. Now it's your time to have a whistle-stop tour of the rest of the virtual innovation team. So if you can just drop the slides for a minute, Katie. And I am going to be calling out to Anna Bright from Sustainability West Midlands first. Over to you, Anna.
Hi everybody, I'm Anna Bright, Chief Exec at Sustainability West Midlands, and working with my colleague Alan Carr, who I think many of you may have met, we lead on low carbon for the virtual innovation team. It's a really exciting role to have because increasingly low carbon is seen as a cross-sector theme, cross-cutting across all sectors. And by working with the virtual innovation team, we're able to ensure that this approach is embedded. This is particularly exciting when working with sectors where perhaps the link with low carbon hasn't been as strong before, such as the creative sector. And you can find out more about this collaborative work in the first breakout session.
Fantastic, thank you, Anna. Next up, we have Andrew Mayer from Midlands Aerospace Alliance.
Hi everybody, we're the regional cluster body for aerospace across the whole Midlands. Got 300 member companies, industry-led, but with all the stakeholders on board as well. So we're a traditional cluster body of the type that the CBI was talking about yesterday. A lot of our work's on in business development and networking, but we have a big innovation strand. We run technology projects for our member companies who've done a number over the years. The two that are live at the moment, one is called Aerospace Unlocking Potential. It's an ERDF project run by the University of Nottingham with the MA as the delivery partner. It's in 8 LEPs, so it covers the whole of the West Midlands and the East Midlands too. The other programme we'll talk about the first breakout session. It's a project, the code name of which is SciTech, which we're about to launch, and is a cross-sector innovation project. So we're very interested in moving make-to-print companies up the value chain, as we used to call it, in supporting companies to enter the aerospace industry from other sectors and bring their new technology with them. And we've got an increasing interest in what we call the agile innovators, the very reactive companies that are very quick to introduce new technologies and innovations, but aren't really participating in a conventional innovation system that often works much too slowly for them.
Excellent, thank you, Andrew. And next up, we have Chris Lane from Transport for West Midlands.
Hi, good morning, everybody, and it's great to be with you. I'd normally start something like this by asking how many people use public transport or active travel to get to work, but I use walking across the corridor. So I actually head up transport innovation for Transport for West Midlands. We're part of West Midlands Combined Authority. The really exciting part of my role, and hopefully what we can bring to the innovation team, is that transport does join everything up. The West Midlands is a really exciting place for transport innovation at the moment. We're working on low energy fuels, electric vehicles. We're working on what can 5G do for transport. We have a connecting and automated mobility test bed in the real world. We're looking at new forms of transport, demand responsive transport, different ways of moving. We have e-scooters now, love them or hate them. We're looking at commercial data platforms. We're looking at freight and logistics. You name it, we're looking at it. And we really want people to see the West Midlands as the place to come to do transport innovation, not just physical products, but new services and new experiences for the people of the West Midlands.
Excellent, thank you, Chris. Next up, we have Emma Yeap from the West Midlands Health Technologies Cluster.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Emma.
Hi. Yeah, really excited to be part of this cross-sector group. From a health perspective, we're hoping to tackle some of the biggest challenges SMEs face in the region. The organisation is fairly new. Our mission is to help grow to the contribution of the economy made by successful health technologies. Our wider aim is to support the region's approach to making sure that all communities benefit from this growing wealth and employment. And if you'd like to get in touch and to learn more about what it is that we do, please do get in touch.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Emma. Next up, we have Jenny Illingsworth from the Rail Alliance at the University of Birmingham.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, welcome to the team. Welcome to the event. Yes, so as Ian said, I'm Jenny Illingsworth, and I'm here to represent the rail sector within the team, the Virtual Innovation team. I'm Deputy Director of the Birmingham Centre for Railway Research and Education at the University of Birmingham, which sounds very academic, but it's not really. We also run the Rail Alliance, which is the UK's largest business-to-business supply chain community. I think we're at around about 820 companies, the majority of whom are SMEs. So we're very keen to engage with the community of businesses and manufacturers. Personally speaking, I've worked in technology development kind of for many years now, and manufacturing and basically product development, which is sort of how I describe innovation. So we're very keen to get a lot of our results out of the lab and into the market, into people's businesses, into application. There's a lot of exciting things in rail. Of course, it cuts across a lot of the other sectors, across manufacturing, service development, and 5G, and all these kind of exciting things. And I'm very privileged, really. I work alongside a team of industry and supply chain specialists. By no means would I claim to be the guru of everything, but my colleagues, between us, we are in a sense. So we're very excited to be able to come and support this programme.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Jenny. Next, we have the very smiley this morning, Liz Mercado from Warwick Manufacturing Group. Over to you, Liz.
Thank you, Ian. I'm always very smiley. As Ian says, I'm from WMG, part of the University of Warwick. So clearly we have research and education activities ongoing. But the area I sit in is very much business focused. So we work predominantly with SMEs to help them get access to innovation. And being part of the virtual innovation team has been really useful in that case, because small manufacturers come across problems and opportunities that they maybe don't know how to take forward. And with the link into the virtual innovation team, we can introduce them into new areas. So a couple of examples that have come up in the past 2 weeks. We have a company that's involved in manufacturing that's got a waste product, but now by talking to people in construction, there's opportunities to look at that as a new revenue stream. Taking another view from manufacturing is there's a lot of energy intensive processes. So how can we use that energy that's been cast aside in those processes to help us drive forward in terms of sustainability? So again, capturing the sort of low carbon sentiment that we've heard expressed already. So it's a great opportunity, and I hope that people will make the most of it.
Brilliant, thank you, Liz. Next up we have Susanna Go from the Black Country Consortium.
Hello everyone, welcome to the event. It's great to see so many of you here, both familiar and new faces. As Ian said, my name is Susanna. I look after construction, and I'm the interim construction lead within the team. I work very closely with, obviously, the Innovation Alliance for the West Midlands, my colleagues at VIT, and also Constructing Excellence Midlands, which is an innovation construction network for the East and West Midlands, and the Cluster of Excellence in Construction at Wolverhampton University. The work that we're doing in construction is great because it's about anything that's built. So buildings for residential and business and industrial purposes, infrastructure, connecting all of the things together. Therefore, there's a close connection with both advanced manufacturing, transport and mobility. We are pretty hot on sustainability in terms of looking at the challenges relating to triple bottom line sustainability from the point of view of obviously the environment, but also the economy and society at large. And we're interested in digitization and what digitization can do to make construction higher quality, safer and more environmentally sustainable. So yeah, it's a great sector to be in at the moment, though not one, sadly, that's been at the vanguard of innovation, but it definitely is one that's really ripe for innovative potential. Working with the
for the secretary, I'll go pass over to the next one. So last but certainly not least, we have Tim Luft from the fantastic Create Central.
Yeah, hi all. Nice welcome from sunny Shropshire. Great to be here today, and nice to see so many friendly faces who I've known for many years in the audience. So I'm here representing the creative industries, particularly the digital media side of the creative industries. My own background has been running creative businesses. My last business creative company I set up was 6 years ago, based in Shropshire. So I've been heavily involved in the realms of AR, augmented reality, virtuality for many years. On my position on the VIT, I represent Create Central. Create Central being quite a newly found trade body for the creative industries across the West Midlands, something that we haven't had for the creative industries for many years. So when Susie Norton, who's the chief executive, asked me to help on the innovation side and help try and generate innovative ideas and projects. I've known Susie for over 10 years, and because there's been a bit of a vacuum in the creative industries for 10 years, it's great that we finally got as an association to represent us all within the creative industries. My own personal interest is very much about cross-sector innovation. So taking that skill base from the creative and rolling that out across all these other wonderful sectors we've just heard about. But I'll shut up now and focus more now on the breakout session. Back over to you, Ian.
Brilliant. Thank you, Tim. So yeah, I think without further ado, as Tim says, we're now about to go over into the breakout session. So Keith, if you can just pull up the slides. There's going to be two, and just to let you know, we'll share these slides, and they've got everybody's contact details on them as well. So you'll be able to reach out to everybody that you've just heard from. Like I say, back-to-back breakout sessions now. They're going to be 20 minutes long each, and you can choose your own. Here's the choice for breakout session A. So you've got Creative and Low Carbon, who will be talking about an existing initiative called Innovation Engine 3, Aerospace and Medical Technologies, that will be talking about supply chains innovate to pivot, Manufacturing and Digital about Made Smarter, and Construction, Mobility and Rail about Infrastructure, Place and Innovation. Kirti, if you can launch the breakout sessions, everybody should get shortly a breakout session, breakout room option come up in their toolbar. It should just magically arrived on mine. Hopefully it has for everybody else. If you click on the breakout session, you can see the 4 that I've just described there, and there's a little join button next to each. So go, 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 and we will see you back here in 20 minutes. Just want to run a quick session now for a few minutes, just for some key kind of feedback from each of the sessions. So I'm going to call on the VIT team member that was basically taking the kind of like notes and whatnot to just give me a kind of 1 minute on what was the headlines from each of their groups. So Kirti, if you can just drop the slide for us. I'm going to call on Anna Bright from Sustainability West Midlands about the first creative and low carbon workshop. Over to you.
Brilliant. So the main focus of the session was describing Innovation Engine 3, which is a partnership of organisations including Create Central, Sustainability West Midlands, Innovation Birmingham and others. The idea of the project is to work with challenge holders, if you like, so that might be a large business, it might be the Commonwealth Games, to define what their challenges are, and then to go out via competitive calls to allow smaller local businesses to come forward with solutions to those challenges. If they are successful in their application, to then go on to receive funding and other support. But I think importantly, to develop a legacy of working between those challenge holders and the smaller businesses. So a summary of the project provided, and then a really interesting discussion around what those key challenges might be. And we zoomed in on air quality, circular economy, battery recycling, and then the need for consortiums of suppliers to address those challenges.
Brilliant. Thank you, Anna. And we'll be following up with a note about all of these, but it's just great to get the very headlines of what's been going on. So thank you. Next up, we've got Emma Yeap, who's going to just give us a quick 101 on the aerospace and medical technologies, if you would, please. Oh, was it not you?
I think it might be me, Ian. I'm happy to do it.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
So with aerospace and medical, we've got two sectors that don't look similar, but are in many ways in terms of the regulatory environment and the innovation model that creates potential opportunities. So there's familiarity between the two markets, if you like, which you might expect more between aerospace and motorsport, an example we used. But it's their technology in motorsport, but the innovation model is completely different because it's so fast in motorsport compared to aerospace. So there's a conversation that's not so difficult to hold in many ways around the market environment and helping to stimulate innovation there. So we looked at how the new SciTech project might be able to support companies to do that between medical and aerospace. In the pilot project, it's about companies in other supply chains that want to enter the aerospace industry. So opportunities for everybody else who's on this call potentially to look at aerospace and aviation, and realizing with our medical colleagues who are on the call that if we can progress this further and prove it's successful in this pilot, then you would need to be working with the health cluster and Medilink and other bodies to help aerospace companies, if you like, to enter their sector. Because you need the demand pull from the experts in the other sectors to make these things work. So
that's really interesting, Andrew. Thank you so much. We'll follow up with further details to everybody as well. Liz and Jamie. So I think Jamie, around manufacturing and digital and Made Smarter, over to you for a quick 101 as to how the conversations went.
So it was just presenting the Made Smarter program as a new program in the West Midlands to support the digitization of manufacturing, using industrial digital technology such as robotics, AI, etc. But also what we're wanting to use this program for is a framework around which we can combine the programs that support the digitization of manufacturing and link them to the growth hubs. So we're trying to reduce the fragmentation of business support in this area. And if we can do it with Made Smarter, then we can do it with other programs across the region. So having the growth hubs as that central place where the organizations, the businesses come, but link the growth hubs is then able to link with all the various support that is out there in a much more of a referral type of way.
Brilliant. Excellent. Thank you, Jamie. Again, we'll follow up with further details on that. And then over to Jenny about infrastructure, place and innovation.
Hiya. Yeah, we were very quick. We were a small and compact and bijou group, I think is probably the best way of calling it. So we did a quick round the table. So we had representation from Coventry VLR, a software analysis building decarbonisation of cities, organisation integrated environmental solutions, and Inner Circle Construction, who are working with Birmingham City Council on a roadmap for again kind of a smart cities kind of things. So that was pretty cool. We talked about the Spring programme and a bit about 5G technologies for VLR vehicles, and then we ran out of time really quickly.
Yeah, that's the kind of the beauty of these sessions, isn't it? We've got so much more control over you all to be able to just whip you back any minute. So yeah, sorry about that. We're still continuing. So we're nearly at the end now. Well done, everybody. That was a kind of really strong session to be able to illustrate the passion of everybody that's involved in this initiative, the kind of cross-sector demand-led approach that we're taking. We really believe that this is something quite unique here in the West Midlands. Through many conversations, both nationally and internationally, we haven't seen anything quite like this before. So let's continue the pace. Let's continue the conversations. I think if you're a public, private, academic or third sector organisation, there is a place for you in this conversation. And by looking at cross-sector approaches, we can get more done with less money at a time where we need to do that more than ever. So on that note, I will say thank you very much to all of our speakers. Thank you very much to all of our delegates. We'll be following up with blogs and videos. But in the meantime, if you do want to contact us, you can visit our website, which is innovationwm.co.uk. You can follow us on Twitter, which is @innovationwm. Or you can email iawm@blackcountryconsortium.co.uk. So we look forward to speaking to you all soon, and we'll see you for the next IPMP in a couple of months' time. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
Cheerio.
Cheers, Ian.